Welcome back to On the Record. We're here at the Enable Partner Summit 2011, and I'm here with somebody who feels like an old friend, Derik Belair. Welcome to the show. I don't think I've ever actually interviewed you for the show, have I?
No, I don't think so.
Boy, I was just making sure that you were actually going to stay with Enable. So, how long has it been? A couple of days now?
I've been with Enable since day one, April 1st, 2001. 2000. Yes, that's right.
I know it started in 2000. I didn't know it was April 1st, but
yeah, I thought it was a joke.
We got there. Yeah. A good joke, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been a great joke.
So it's your team that's put together this show, and I know the numbers are up from about 300 last year of attendees to about 560 or something.
Yeah, we last year we had about 300 registered, about 280 that actually attended. This year we had close to 575 registered. I think we're at about 540 that have attended. So it's been a tremendous jump.
Why is that?
You know, there's certainly our growth in the marketplace with regards to customer acquisition, so brought on a lot more customers, educated them early about the conference, but most of all, we basically leveraged existing partners to sell the conference for us as opposed to doing it ourselves. So lots of testimonials. Anybody that was questioning whether or not they should come, we paired them up with an existing partner that went, and it became almost viral where people wanted to attend because they see the value in what we deliver.
And on top of that, managed services is growing so fast, eh?
Oh, it's incredible. Every month we always sort of look at the numbers, look at our partner growth, and it's just grown exponentially. The international marketplace are on fire right now. We're seeing a ton of uptake over there, and to be honest, if we look at this partner conference as an indicator within our base or within the industry, it's just been 70% increase in attendance alone.
The amazing thing is that you guys are going global, have gone global, and you're in so many different countries, and you're putting on shows in Sydney, Australia, and the UK. We're in the UK.
Actually, we're doing it this year. It's in Amsterdam. Last year was in London. So we put on this show on the West Coast, and next year we're looking at actually doing potentially two of these in North America. We do one in Europe, and we alternate between we're in our office in Amsterdam or in the UK, and Sydney, Australia, and then road shows and technical training road shows throughout the year.
It's pretty amazing, but the point I was going to get at is you haven't even started to skim the surface of what's just available just in North America, and yet you're going so global. You would say, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Whenever we do these events, whenever we do trade shows, we're always surprised at the leads that we get back. How few of them are in our database, and we probably have right now, 80,000 individual customers in North America, individual company contacts in our database. And every time we do an event, we're always bringing back companies that we have never touched before. So it really shows the depth of the space.
Oh, absolutely. So as a marketing person, you're coming out with so many different products all at once. How are you going to do that?
Well, certainly the biggest concern I always have is educating our partner base. So how do we let people know that these products are available, what they do, which I guess is one of the big reasons we do put on these events. We do put on road shows, regularly scheduled webinars, that kind of stuff. It is a big job, and every time we come here, we always do a survey. Did you know that we had this product? Did you know we have that? And unfortunately, there's so many of our partners don't know the entire extent of our product base. So it's all about repeating the same message over and over again for people that get it.
So you're becoming the new Microsoft, because nobody knows 90% of the stuff that they put out.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? There's so many products, and we're so proud of all of them that we want everybody to know about them all. We're happy to have them know one, and then this way we use it as a wedge, and then we basically educate the rest of the way. So it's all good.
Yeah, I was at a trade show one time, and Bill Gates was talking just to the press, and one of his something didn't work, and a tech person came up onto the stage, and he made a comment about, "Oh, Bill, you should have known about that." And I think that was definitely his last minute at the show. But the point was that nobody knows everything about anything that's going on in technology, but it's good. So the nice thing about managed services, though, from everybody's point of view, is that, in my opinion, is you can now do things and find problems before they start. And for the channel partners or the managed service providers, they actually have a life. They're not fighting fires every minute of every day. They're not worried every time the phone calls is, okay, what's messed up now? There's going to be some of that. but you've taken away, what, 95% of it?
Yeah, we're certainly every day we're trying to make our techs' lives a little easier. We're trying to give them more tool, becoming more proactive, really give them knowledge so that they're not fighting fires. In this space, whenever you're a technician, it's feast or famine. You're either incredibly busy and you wish you could be cloned 2 or 3 times over, or there's a bit of a lull. And what we're trying to do is really trying to even that curve out. When there is downtime, then you can work on proactive issues. You can resolve things that are going to become problems. Whenever it does get busy, you've got the tools there to be able to fix one things across multiple customers. For example, patching, Patch Tuesday, that kind of stuff.
So for me, the thing that I don't understand, I ask people this all the time, roughly 85% of all the VAR organizations in North America are not offering managed services, are not doing anything of service as a product or whatever. They're not doing any of that type of stuff. They're not doing hardware or software or any of that. Like, it's just none of that. And yet you look at it, the margins are 5 times the size or maybe more. It gives them a life of their own, gives them back their life. It gives them more control over their customer. And by not doing it, they also are leaving themselves wide open for somebody else who's going to come in there. And the other person who comes in there isn't going to say, oh, can I just get your managed services business? They're going to say, well, if they're not offering you managed services, they're doing a lousy job. Let's replace them. Yeah. And it's happening every day. So the question that I'm going to ask you, and if you have a good answer for it, I'd love to hear it, is, what is holding these other 85% back?
I don't know. Other than to say that we're all creatures of habit, and we've these guys have built a business doing a certain things, and I think that there's a tendency to want to hold on to that.
Because the 60% margins are coming back?
They're certainly not coming back, but there's this hope, that if they hold on to it, they've got a great business because they own the customer relationship, and I think it's just a way to look at, how can I continue to service that customer in a great way, but, put more money in my pocket, stay ahead of the trend. But it is difficult. It is above all things, it is a business transition that these guys need to make to get into managed services, and the technology will follow. And a lot of people try to lead with technology to hope it'll create that shift for them, and it just won't. They've got to make that business decision to make that change.
So let's say you're out of there, and let's say we're talking to the 10 or 15% more who will at some point change over, but who are sitting there saying to themselves, oh, maybe it's too late. What do you have to say to them?
Well, it's, if we take a look at the adoption of managed services, I'd say it's just the beginning, and we're seeing the real sort of meaty part of the curve happening now, where there's easy, great technology to be used, great business models to be had. I'd say that there's probably no better time to get into managed services, hence why we're seeing so many customers joining. And I think that when they do decide to make that switch, they've got to decide on the type of partnership they want with vendors, and what kind of business support they're going to offer, because that business transition, like I said, is a tough one for sure.
And then, of course, some of the new things coming out, like icon-driven ways to program what they want to do for their clients. Like, I mean, come on. Even first of all, my audience knows this. I don't even know how to turn on my phone. I have problems. They go, which button again is that? I could probably do it.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's a quest to make things simple, make things work, make things powerful, drag and drop, being able to create technology that is easy, not just for our techs to use, but also for the actual customers to be able to use and understand. And that's really the name of the game. The more we can make the deployment simple, we can make the use simple, we can make it, nice and easy to use, the more likely it will to proliferate all the way down to the SMB.
So if you're active VARs or managed service providers, and I'm not asking for an exact number, but just in your opinion, how many of them do you think are also selling cloud solutions, or at least looking into it?
I think everybody should be looking into it. I think that there's a certain need to understand, myth versus reality, because there are so many business concepts coming their way that, it is difficult when you see everything coming your way. I think that, certainly for a service provider looking at adding cloud services to their offering, they've got to be selective, and they've got to look at what their customers' ultimate needs are, and then pick and choose the technology that makes sense.
And then become an expert in certain areas so that you know the apps that go around it and all the rest of it. The scary part for me, or for me looking at my audience, is that so many of them haven't made the jump to managed services, and yet the people who are moving to managed services are so much more likely to be going into the cloud. So every day that they wait it's one day further behind they're going to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's times of the essence with this, and they've got to basically make those decisions now, start basically evaluating the technologies they want, and start integrating those right away.
So you've been really nice. I'm going to end it with a comment, and usually I ask my guests to. But the one thing I would say is either you get into unless you're like a Tiger Direct or something like that who's selling, millions and millions of dollars worth of hardware, and that's a different model. But for the person who's out there and is servicing 25, 30 SMB customers, you've got two choices really: close your business or get into managed services. Would you not agree with that?
Absolutely. Managed services is the future for the channel, and everybody's trying to make it easy, but they've got to look at it. They've got to basically start thinking about it for sure.
Yeah. It'll change. Managed services is changing this week, right here. There's with the things you've announced, it's made it so much easier for so many more people to get into it, and yet they have to check it out and figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Derik, as always, it's a pleasure seeing you,
Thank you very
and
much.
welcome to the first time on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.